Hello and welcome to My HR Storage. We're proud to introduce our newest offering from Basic. My HR Storage is a tool that allows brokers and agents to compete directly against direct writers who are offering benefit portals at no charge to your clients and prospects stealing business from you. My HR Storage is Basic's solution. Let's go ahead and show you what an employer portal could look like. It is cloud-based. We enter in our unique username and password. Once we're in the software, we can visually tell who we're signed in as the HR manager of Latitude 42. The employer can see contact information for their insurance agent who is offering them access to this portal. Employers have the ability to click on any of these tiles. Our research shows us that the employee stuff is most important to employers, so let's just click on that. The employee information is generally input initially by agents through an Excel spreadsheet. It's trying to make it easy. Let's click on one employee's name. When we first come in, we see the General tab. That's the one that we're on currently. When insurance agents upload all that general information for an employee, this is all that info that's going in through an Excel spreadsheet. Employers can also add in EEO information, employee number, location, department, and manager, as well as dependent information. Even though an agent cannot see some of the information I'm about to show you, the agency does have the rights to the information. So, onboarding checklist. This is something that only employers can actually access. This is our onboarding checklist. We can add new items to this list if they're generic in nature. The HR person who's doing the onboarding for this employee, Mary Blige, goes through and checks off on the appropriate boxes if this is part of their onboarding process. The documents that an employer could look for any of these items can also be found on My HR Storage, and I'll show you that in a little bit. Once the employer has checked off in the box signifying that they've completed that onboarding process, they can come over and click the note field, where they can put in detailed notes that are date and time stamped. From there, they could upload the document to support, in this case, the attendance policy. Once again, the employer can upload documents for any of these different items. These hyperlinks are to services that Basic offers for an additional fee to the employer. As I'm moving my way from left to right, I'll point out who actually has access to the information. On emergency, the employer or employee has access to this information only. The same for education. Payroll is more historical payroll information. The employer is the only one that has access to this. Benefits are viewed by the employer, the agent, or even the employee. This is where you can add in dollar amounts so an employee knows exactly what they're paying for and who's receiving benefits. Under development, the employer or employee has the ability to add in training, certification, licensing, or skills. Workers' comp, this allows an employer to fully track any accidents or injuries by specific employee. With full date of injury, lost time began, restricted duty, transferred duty, even injury type, and you can also upload documents in case you get stuck in a DOL audit. Performance. This tool allows the employer to review an employee, specifically Mary Blige. The employer can create their own rating structure. They can turn on the next evaluation date and remind themselves by email. Next year, 11 months out, or 1 month out from the expert date you put here, that employer will start to receive emails reminding them to go out and complete the next review for Mary. The employer can put in general comments or private comments. Private comments are only seen by the employer. The employer can also upload performance documents and determine if they want the employee to be able to see it or not. That employer can also take charge of performance action, or they can manage any of these items. Once again, keeping comments private or general and uploading documents to fully track performance reviews for employees. Employer only can track separation, as well as offboarding, the checklist for that. Last but not least would be your notes section. Going back to the home page again, the employer can go out and review the benefits at a glance on the fly. Once the agency bills this out, the employer can see any P&C, life and health, or financial service product information. That could be hyperlinks or documents that were loaded into our system. If it's benefit related, the agent can upload rates, whether they're composite or non-composite, through a spreadsheet. You can create benefit statements on the fly for employees. You can go out and customize the resource library that the employer and potentially the employees will see. The agency customizes this, or the employer does, by employer. You can create a nice looking file folder system like we've done in this example here. These are just examples. I'd like to think of our tool as a great way to help employers stay on top of all the ACA compliance requirements. I've created file folders here and giving them names. The hand indicates if we're sharing the folder and all the documents inside of it to the employees. Our SBCs, the law says we have to share those with our benefit eligible employees. We're able to do that. Our SPD, law says, ERISA, we have to share the SPD document with all the benefit eligible employees. Share your COBRA notices, your exchange notice. What about the company handbook? Training videos? New hire packet, very important topic to employers. You or your agent can create any type of documents that you want to load in here. If you have software to make them fillable, great. Your new employee clicks on them, types in their information. They will have to print it out and put a wet signature on it in order for it to be valid. A nice feature that we also offer would be the ability for employers to create folders that only they can see. Notice there's no hand, so the employees don't see it. The brick wall indicates that we're hiding it from the agency. So the employer can create folders and load things in those folders that they don't want anybody else to see. We're also pleased to offer our HR compliance tool, MyHR. Once the employer clicks on that, they will dive out to our system. And on the home page, they've got a state law finder, salary benchmarking, job description builder, performance reviews, healthcare reform updates, news alerts. For those of you not familiar with these types of tools, you can hover over any of these tabs and review the cool features that are included for your employers to access. There's 4 different national benchmarking studies, the ability to help you figure out, well, what do you have to make sure you share and communicate? Healthcare reform, what can you say? Anything you possibly might need to look at is there. You can learn more about your section 6055 and 6056. It is important to note that BASIC, as a third-party administrator, does offer a solution for these ACA requirements, whether it's your SPD for an additional fee, HIPAA training for additional fee, ACA ERISA notices for a fee, and of course the filing of these forms for a fee as well. It's nice to know that you have one solution from one organization, though. You can tap into human resource, where you can look up, for example, penalties for noncompliance with workplace laws. Why not help your employer save money by not paying for posters anymore? You can go on this tool and find federal, state, OSHA, or workplace posters. Recruitment and hiring. Discipline and termination. State law. You can jump into any state you want. It's always all included. Several hundred different forms or policies that you can access to include a federal specific handbook. And any form that you might possibly look for to use for our onboarding or offboarding, you can find here in Word format so that your employer could download it and customize it and then use it in MyHR storage. So once again, we've got a very good, well-rounded solution. HR tools. This is where you could use the performance review builder here, complete the review, and then load it into MyHR storage. You can do salary benchmarking here. There's a resource center, safety and wellness center, and last but not least, we have HR training videos that are available for your employer so they can go out and watch training videos. I was recently asked today by an agent, can I have individual training in your system by specific employee? And the answer is yes. If you come out and you click on this little file folder next to an employee's name, you can actually create file folders here and upload, like we've done for Mary Blige as an example. We can upload things like her annual review, and the hand once again indicates we're sharing it just with Mary. But you could upload hyperlinks or documents, PDFs, whatever that might be, where an employee needs to have training done. Once it's loaded up in here, you could use our notes feature to actually get one or more employees to sign off that they've actually completed the training, reviewed their handbook, reviewed their annual disclosure notices, whatever it is that you really want to be able to access. Our friend Larry Grudzian recently stated that one of the great things that he likes about MyHR Storage is the ability to know that you've uploaded and were able to share all the different required ACA compliance notices and all the different documents that an employer has to be able to find at their fingertips to protect themselves should they get stuck in an audit. If you're using BASIC for any of our different services, we can turn on unique hyperlinks, tiles that you or your employees could actually go out and click on. We also have the ability to create customized tiles by employer. So as you can see, we offer a great, well-rounded solution for insurance agents to offer to their employers in order to keep direct writing companies out in the West Coast out of your business. We look forward to your questions and calls. Thank you so much and have a great day.